Is back to school anxiety creeping in as you get ready for the new school year? Is it really time to say goodbye to the summer rhythm that was finally figured out? The slower mornings, the more flexible schedule, and the version of you that wasn't racing the clock? How do you hold on to what summer gave you as you transition into a new school routine? If you are struggling with anxiety about the start of another school year, this episode is part of a back to school series that has been made just for you. Hello and welcome to Mom's Way to Wellness. I am your host, Aida Maravillas, and today we are talking about how anxiety can creep into the transition back to school and the mindset shift that can help you move into the next school year with more awareness and less anxiety. Let's get into today's episode. This season can feel so overwhelming for moms. There's so much to take care of. You're preparing for a lot of new things, new grade levels, new teachers, new schedules, and there's a lot to have to figure out. And this is a prime time for anxiety to creep its way in if it hasn't been your companion already, because anxiety shows up in the form of fear and worry about what's to come. It's overthinking, it's trying to control things, and it's trying to find solutions for all of the possible problems before the problems have even shown up. That's how we manage anxiety. We live in our minds so much into the future that we forget to stop and to be in the present moment. So let's look at some ways that moms can become anxious during this time of year. And then we're going to talk about 3 steps to help lessen the anxiety as the new school year approaches. You know, in episode 33, I talked about how spending 19 summers off with my kids was an experience that shifted throughout that time. As someone who used to work in a school setting for so many years, it actually took me a long time to figure out what worked and what didn't work for me. I would get to this point of finally feeling like I found the right balance of time for me and time for my kids. And then the signs of the new school year would show up at the store in mid-July. The shelves would start to be stocked with school supplies, and I would become overwhelmed with the need to shift all of my energy into the upcoming school year. I would forget what happened in the summer. I would forget what helped me make the summer feel good. Most of the helpful habits I built, they just stopped because I went into the productive side of myself. I didn't slow down and think of how I could carry the parts that worked into the next school year because I just jumped right into the doing, the working, the making things happen. That's what we do as moms, right? We make sure that the preparation takes place. Checking off the school supply list and shopping for clothes that kids have outgrown is just part of getting ready. There's also all of the behind the scenes planning, figuring out bus schedules, morning or after school care, carpools, and work hours that have to fit into the needs of the school day. Changing bedtime routines and morning routines, figuring out what picky eaters will eat, packing school lunches, planning play dates, meeting new parents when classrooms will change, and all of the other details that might go unnoticed by others who don't handle all of this unseen work. These are the things that make up the mental load. It's the sum of the mental work that can grow into overthinking, decision fatigue, and even brain fog. And that decision fatigue and brain fog, oh my goodness, it just makes things that we need to do feel like they take so much longer to get done. And when there is no break from the mental load, it can become overwhelming and grow into anxiety with overthinking that turns on specifically at night, and then it turns into trouble sleeping and even irritability. You know, that crabby part of us that is short-tempered, short-fused, or just easily triggered. The mental load naturally shifts into planning for what's coming next, and moms need to be able to be flexible and be able to shift too. It's an easy time to start thinking of everyone else's needs while silently dismissing your own. Why do we do this as moms? Why do we place our needs on the shelf with the idea that we will come back and take care of ourselves later? But then we get so busy taking care of everyone else that we forget to come back. Sometimes we even forget how to care for ourselves or what we enjoyed in the first place. I want to encourage you to hold on tightly to the parts of you that need to walk into this next school year in a way that feels more calm and less chaotic. Recognize who you are on the days that feel easier to handle because somehow you got that walk in, you drank some extra water, or you took things slow and things felt good. Those days may have been just as busy as the others. Maybe the circumstances weren't so different. The real difference was in the way you showed up because you took the time to take care of yourself. If you were intentional about building self-care rhythms into your summer, this is the time to think about the ways you can continue to carry those priorities into the fall. This is a perfect time to ask yourself how your self-care can adapt into the next season, because nothing is wasted when we encounter change. We can carry things that work into new seasons that we're walking into. If this is hard to do, I'm going to share 3 steps to help you establish a mindset that can help you transition into the next school year with less anxiety. Let's do a walk through each step. First, be present. What I mean by being present is being intentional and aware of your mood, aware of your surroundings, and of your mindset in the moment, even while preparing for change. Being present can help combat anxiety. Presence is in the here and now. Anxiety grows in worry and fear of what is to come. Presence in the moment is a helpful strategy to help you maintain emotional regulation. The bonus that comes with presence is what your kids will learn by watching you practice it. They will notice that you are taking the time to be present with them and not distracted by doing things around the house, not distracted by making sure that everything is perfectly labeled, or not distracted by zoning out and scrolling on your phone instead of being intentionally interactive with them as you guys both get ready for this next season. Second, be flexible. The need to be flexible can be hard as a mom, but it is so important. Be ready for the possibility of changes that can't be controlled. And I want to repeat that, changes that cannot be controlled. We can have all of our plans and intentions laid out, and then something unexpected happens. We have to be flexible. We don't have to have everything figured out all at once. Give yourself reasonable timeframes to make progress toward getting ready for what comes next. So if it means buying the school supplies, maybe it doesn't have to be all done in one day. Maybe it could be done in smaller parts. It's just about what works for you. And have your kids help with the process. They can help label school supplies, they can help fill their backpacks, and they can help put things away. It may take up more time, but it's an opportunity to teach them by doing things alongside them, instead of deciding that you have to be the one to do it all. And for those moments when it feels like you might snap, take a deep breath, pause, and remind yourself the need to be flexible, just like a rubber band that's able to just shift and hold on to a lot of things. If it's not cared for and if it's not stored in the right conditions, it could snap, and we don't want that for ourselves as moms. And the third step to shifting our mindset at this time of year is to consider what your mindset even is about the new school year and notice any negative thoughts about the added stress of getting ready for it. Reframing can be a really tough one, especially if your kids don't particularly like school or if you didn't particularly like school, because our kids are like sponges and they will easily take in the energy that you are pouring out. They will easily join you on any negative self-talk about school, and that can reinforce their own mood about going back. Consider this time as an opportunity to reset rather than a total end to anything positive that summer held for you. Look for the positive whenever possible. As we wrap up, I want to encourage you to hold on to what is good right where you are. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just need to decide what is worth holding on to and carry that with you. When the routines change and the pace picks up, the parts of you that felt more connected to a better version of yourself don't have to disappear just because the calendar changes. You get to choose presence and preparation at the same time. It doesn't have to be a competition. Both presence and preparation can support each other. If you haven't figured out what self-care looks like for you, check out the self-care series that I covered in the spring, particularly episode 32, where I talked about small, sustainable self-care for busy moms. This time of year is not a time for you to disappear. It's a time for you to shine bright. So if you already placed your needs on the shelf, go back and consider your needs as you get ready for what your kids will still need from you this fall. Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you thought of someone who can use the encouragement that you received from this episode, please share it with them. If you would like to receive the monthly newsletter and insider information about the show, you can sign up to be part of the Mom's Way to Wellness community at aidamaravillas.com.